So I entered one chance in Lagos, Nigeria. Honestly, in my wildest dreams, I would never have expected this to be me. All I can say is God is good because it could have been worse. I mean, what was my mommy and daddy going to do if anything has actually happened to me? Wondering where has TCO been? Where has TCO been? Well, your star girl has been in shock. Hi! Gosh. Hi there, my TCO community member. Welcome back to the TCO podcast, which is the Chidera Onuoha podcast. I'm your host, Chidera Onuoha, or Stargirl Chi, or AKA, I mean, Stargirl Chi. And we're back with another episode. Um, I know I've been away. And to be very honest, if you know me well, you know it's not in my nature, or you know it's not in my character to be away for this long. But life had other plans. Like I always tell myself, like I feel life wanted to give me a break. I don't know if that makes any sense, but from everything that happened to me, I am convinced that life wanted me to have a break. Because if you know me well, I'm really not an inconsistent person. So it was really, really hard for me accepting the fact that God wanted me because I believe everything happens for a reason. That God wanted me to have this break and I just had to accept that maybe this time was for something. But before I get into all that, let me start first explaining why I've been MIA. So the last time I released an episode was on the that was 25 years, 25 truths. But that was like on the 3rd of May, if I guess. And this is already the 14th of June, because that's this is when I plan to put up this episode. And that's been like a long time. But like I said, life had other plans. So now I'm going to this episode is just a story time, giving you updates on what happened to me and what I've learned from what happened to me. If you know me well, I'm heavy on taking lessons from everything that happens. It just helps me navigate my life better, and I've been able to do that with this period. So let's get into what happened. So let's go. Story, guys. Story. Gosh, gosh. That's all I can actually say. So sometime in May, if you know, let me just give you brief background about myself. So my name is Onohachidera Stephanie. I'm a 25-year-old girl living in Lagos, Nigeria. I am a nurse. I am a content creator, podcaster. I am a presenter, media girl, all that. I'm just trying to navigate my way around this. But what I primarily do for money is working as a nurse. That's what I studied in school. That's what I have to do, to fetch cash now until this podcast starts bringing me some dough. But like, so yeah, I say this to start my story. So I'm currently on NYC, that is the Natural National Youth Orientation Camp. If you're watching or you're not from Nigeria, that's what we do. It's NYSC basically, something you do after you finish school, so you can like start working. Some companies, some places, they need it for you to start working and to attain high roles or something. So that's what I'm currently doing. And if you know that well, they don't really pay much cash. Like it's really low cash they give. So I know I've always known that in my NYC era I needed to search for more ways to make more funds because like I said, I'm 25 years old. I've reached the point where I'm an adult and I have to start taking some responsibilities into like on my own, not with my parents anymore. Not like they can't help, but I need to help myself as well. So basically, I went for a job interview. This happened on the 16th of May. Yeah, I saw an opening. And because of how my PPA gives me enough free time, I thought to use my extra time, apart from creating content, navigating my way as a media girl, and podcasting, I should also try to get another job for extra cash. So I went for a job interview. I was so grateful that day. I remember I prayed so hard that morning. I was so happy because I had told God, like in this NYS era, I knew he was going to be my source, my provision. Because when I heard, I know you guys are like, they're paying 77K, but with the economy right now, 77K plus your PPA money is not really much, if you know what I mean. So I was so grateful to God because that job interview felt like an answered prayer from God because I really told God that I needed extra cash for this period. So that's how I went for the job interview. I prayed so hard that like just to bless the day and everything. Like I want to take the point that I prayed that day before leaving my house. Okay, so after the job interview, it went so well. I felt so confident. I was so happy. So this happened around Bagada, Bagada area. So on my way coming back, I'm not also the best with Nigerian, like the way I was trained. I mean, I am an omo get inside. If you're listening and you're in Nigerian, it just means like your parents spoilt you so much and you were always inside the house. So that's how I lived my life for a really long time. And yeah, so I'm not really conversant with Bagada Road because that's not my area. But like I know you can enter the nearest bus stop and stuff like that. So I used Uber already to go for the job interview because I didn't want to feel sweaty or anything. I already used Uber. And then coming back, I just felt like I could just I shouldn't waste money or start looking for who will send me money or I should have said that here, but or start like I shouldn't waste money. I should just like enter bus because it's cheaper. That's how like I entered the bus. So now apparently, if you listen, I entered one chance basically. Now let me explain better. So I entered a downfall. I know one chance to be like small cars or like all these smaller Korope buses. Korope are like the smaller buses. I didn't expect them to be that big. So this downfall year, it was I needed to get to Sele back because from Bagada to Sele because I stay around Sele. Okay, so I entered and it didn't look suspicious. He had like three men at the back. He had like a conductor and everything. So I genuinely did not think it was a one chance bus. And I was already so excited about how the interview went. I was like, I didn't even really reason it. I just finished calling my dad. I told my dad, oh, your baby, by God's grace, this work is going to work out. My baby is going to start working. And my dad is always really happy when his children get a job. My daddy likes the fact that you're growing up and you start spending on yourself. I don't know if it's because so he's not collecting money a lot from him, but he likes it. So I had just finished talking. My dad was the last person I spoke to on the phone. Okay, like on my phone. So I entered the bus and I know everything. I was so happy. It didn't look suspicious, although they were all guys in the bus, but I never really thought it was one chance. So we're going, and then you guys, the last thing I remember was giving the conductor 200 naira because to the bus stop I wanted to stop to get Sele, it was 200 naira. And then that's the last thing I remember. The next thing I know, I was stepping down from the bus and this bus zoomed off. I don't know how to explain it in a way because when I explained this to my friends, I explained this to my dad, my mom, they didn't really get it. Honestly speaking, I think they jazzed me because on a very serious note, like I cannot remember anything. The only thing I remember was giving this conductor change. And then the next thing just saw myself, I just saw the bus zooming off and I was on the road. And then when I got myself back, I checked my bag and then my phone was stolen. I was using an iPhone 13 and it got stolen. And when I got myself, I remember I was screaming, I was shouting, like, oh my God, you guys, like, I'm then people around me saw me, like, what happened, what happened? And I just explained what happened to them and they're like, oh my God, sorry, that was one chance. Gosh. It was a lot for me to take on that time because it was really a lot for me to take on that time. It was really sad. And then a man, when people were consoling me, because a lot of people, Nigerians are actually not that bad. I had a lot of people because I am very emotional. So I was already tearing up when I heard my phone got stolen and I was just, I don't even know what just happened to me. I was already tearing up. And then people around me, they comforted me saying that I'm alive. I should be grateful for that. And then a very, that kind of thing. And the next thing they were like, oh, I needed to go and unblock my bank. I needed to go and unblock my bank. And it was just a lot. And then I remember one of the men telling me that, that's why I should be praying before I leave the house. And I'm like, that statement really got to me. And I don't know whether I don't know, it made me a bit angry with God because sure, let me tell you, people don't understand. I prayed that morning. You know when you pray and your heart is warm? That's how I felt that morning. And this man telling me I should have prayed before leaving my house. I'm like, God, I prayed before leaving. You know, made me remember like, God, but I prayed before leaving my house today. What happened? So thank God, I checked all my banks. They didn't steal money or anything. So apparently all they just wanted was my phone. Yes, and it was really sad. It was really really sad for me because I got that phone myself. I invested money to get that phone before. Like I wanted to take my content creation seriously last year. So I had upgraded from an 8 plus to a 13. And if you know that's a big upgrade and I invested in it. So it was really a lot for me. It was really a lot. It was sad. But yeah, so I remember getting home. I went after I went home, you know, I had to stop at my friend's house. Her name is Choma, and I stopped at a friend's house first before I went to Choma's house. But I'm not saying that here where I stopped. So like I went to Choma's house and like Choma is my friend if you know her. Or maybe she has been on the podcast before. So I went to her house. She's still close to me. Like I went to her and then she was like, Chidera, you're coming to my house. Like you don't tell me, you didn't text me. And then I entered the room and I just told her, like I was so numb. I just said this to my phone and she was so shocked. So she really helped me that period. Then my sister came home. My sister called her. It was just really sad. Like that night was so sad. Gosh, it was so sad, and I don't even know, but it was really sad. Yeah, so I remember explaining to my parents, and they were really scared. My mom was my mom's own was that they did not kill her daughter. My mommy was so grateful to God. And I remember when I was still lamenting about the phone, and she's like, Chidera, they did not kill you. Even Choma mentioned this to me that what if they had killed you? Like, it could have been worse. And then I started having like a mind shift, that material things. I know, yeah, it was, you got the phone, invested in the phone, but like, do you get? There was this mind shift per se that get up, like come off it, Abby, you're alive. And trauma made me realize that the prayer I even prayed, what if God, that prayer was to preserve my life that day, not necessarily a phone. Like it was just a lot. Mommy was happy they not kill her daughter. Basically. So yeah, I remember it was really traumatic for me the first 2 days. Like I remember leaving my room to stay in Mesoma. Mesoma is my sister in her room because I kept seeing flashes of the conductor in my head. I kept seeing flash. Well, I couldn't sleep. I was not sleeping with my sister. Like it was a lot for me. Wow, you guys. I got over it like the third day or so. So I was using this period. I was off social media. I was off Instagram. I was off everywhere. I got a small, cute iPhone 6. You guys, iPhone 6 is underrated. Though. For this, I think I've been off for 3 weeks. I got this small, cute iPhone 6 that I was using. I didn't want to download Instagram or anything. I actually just wanted to also meditate. So I just had WhatsApp on it on another number, and few people could reach me there. And yeah, I was chatting with just few people there. Just talking to my mom, talking to my dad, talking to my sister, talking to Phoebe, talking like I don't really have talking to you know, Perkeme, few people there and everything. Yeah, wow, I don't know. And I remember one time because I'm the kind of person to really pause and reflect. I remember asking God, like, why did this happen to me? What do you want to teach me from all this? What am I meant to learn from all this? And I didn't really get an answer, but I just saw things. I just saw things. And for the next part of this video, I'm just going to be teaching, saying what I feel like God was trying to tell me in this period. You know, I feel like what this period was trying to teach me. So before I get into that, so after the whole phone occurrence situation, I was just on my own. Sorry, I was just like I got an iPhone 6. I didn't want to be on any social media. I was just trying to also reflect, trying to connect better with prayer and other stuff I was doing. Um yeah, so I feel like so these are three things. I don't know if I'll try to five. Let me do three. Three things I feel like this period taught me. By the way, I spent this period just being on my own meditating. I was still doing the same thing I was doing, like going to work, stuff like that. But I also spend the period of Instagram meditating, try my best to write because I love to write through seasons of my life. Try my best to write. Yeah, before this video comes up, I'm starting a newsletter soon, fingers crossed. I've had the idea for a long time, but I just really discovered why I need to start a newsletter in this period. So yeah, that's what I've been doing basically. I feel like sometimes life gives you a break, so you reset. Sometimes you just, I don't know, I don't really know why that will happen, but God knows why. God knows what He was canceling for that to happen. You know, when this thing needs to happen, that's how I see it. This thing needs to happen for something else not to happen. That's why I feel, and God allowed it happen. He didn't allow the devil win. He didn't allow the devil take my life. That's the greatest thing ever, because I genuinely think that it could have been worse. Like, you guys, it could have been worse. Like, I remember talking to my friend, and they're like, "Chira, they would have killed you. They would have kidnapped you." One chance people beats people. Do you know it's very possible that because I prayed that morning, God did not allow these people injure me or scratch me. They just took my phone. They didn't even take my, like, inside my, okay, I didn't even explain how they took my phone. So they opened my bag and took my phone, and that's the only thing they took. They didn't take my wallet. They didn't take anything. Although I didn't have any other thing in my bag, but it's valuable like that in my bag, because at that time, if you check my ATM, you go try it. But like, I feel like, God preserved my life because it could have been worse. So I feel it happened for something better, not something more deadly not to happen, if that makes any sense. Number one. Number two, this is my dad's own point, because my dad was like trying to give me words of encouragement, and he's like, usually when God wants to do something in your life, there's always this breaking, and it might just be a phone, it might be nothing to other people, but he does it for something to happen, something better to happen. That my dad told me regarding everything, and it made a lot of sense in my life. Sometimes, and I'm talking to anybody. Sometimes what feels like is crushing you. I know my own is as little as a phone, but like what seems to be crushing you or breaking you, if that makes any sense, is preparing you for something greater, or it's just, the stepping stone for something greater to happen in your life, if that makes any sense. So I felt that was another thing that was happening in that period. So that's one, that's two. And thirdly, is life, and it's bound to happen. I reflected on this quote a lot. Life breaks everyone. Those it doesn't break, it kills. There's no shame in being a broken man. Pick up the pieces and rebuild. It's bound to happen. It's life. Like, it happens to everybody. Sometimes, even if there might not even be like a lesson to learn or anything. It's just life, and it's just bound to happen. And the most important thing is that you don't stay down. The most important thing is that you don't die. The most important thing is that there's breath in your lungs, and there's hope for another tomorrow, for something greater to happen. So it's just life. And I also feel like God wanted me to have a break. That's why I try my very possible best to stay off social media. You know, I tried my best to pray. I didn't pray as much as I wanted to pray, but I prayed. You get this, how I wanted to use it for something, maybe God calling me back to something, you know. So I spent time with God. I'm not saying I the way I wanted to, but I did spend time with God. I stayed off social media, you know, just tried to be a normal girl. I watched a lot of YouTube. Yeah, I watched a lot of YouTube. If you even noticed, that's when I dropped down my video. I watch a lot of YouTube. Yeah, basically. So I'm back, guys. TCO is back, and this is the story. If you have any thing or any reason you feel like this should have happened, maybe you feel like I didn't mention, I'll appreciate if you drop it in the comments. Whether you're listening on audio, whether you're an audio listener or you're listening here on YouTube, please drop. Let me know what you think. But that's my story. Yes, one chance happens. Let me give you guys tips. So I advise, don't take bus, because it wasn't in another mistake I made was it was not in the bus stop. So don't take bus if you're in Nigeria. Don't take buses that are not in the bus stop, because I was a victim of that. I didn't really reason the fact that this is not a bus stop. I just say I'm happy. I did the job interview. I entered one. Secondly, just pray, because that's the little advice. Because the way the thing happened, it was a big bus. There were people inside the bus, but they were all men. Maybe you can say no, don't enter buses that have men in it. I don't know. To get, I just pray it doesn't happen to anybody. Generally speaking, I don't know what else, but just try. That's just one tip. Don't enter buses that are not in the bus stop. And me, I'm not a street girl like that. I'm just a normal get inside trying to adapt. You know how parents are, they will cage you all your life and then throw you to the streets. That's what they did to me, honestly. But yeah. Yes, so thank you. I am extremely grateful to God for restoration because God is actually so good. I'm so grateful I was able to get I actually got another iPhone 13. But I'm so able I was able to get, another phone within the space of it is not even up to 1 month. God provided, God restored. I know, and I had a lot of people, I have people come through for me financially, and it really warmed my heart, to be very honest. Like, honestly, when the phone was done, I was already saying, how am I going to get another one? Is it that I'm going to settle for less than I had? All those fears came up, but God really restored me, and I'm grateful. Like, God is too good, you guys. Like, I'm grateful for how He restored me, and how the way He restored me. He didn't now make me eat out of what I had. He sent men to help me, and that is the best feeling ever, honestly. So yeah, I'm really grateful for God. Like, God is good for real. Now we're back with the podcast. And I know, like, I really felt bad. That's why I had to drop that episode where I'm like, life had other plans and I'll be back soonest, because I didn't want to spoil my momentum. I wanted to keep bi-weekly to the end of the year. Now I'm wondering, what do I do? But I think we're still going to keep going bi-weekly to the end of the year, just because I don't want to burn myself out. But I had a goal of having up to 24 episodes for season 2. But now I don't know how possible that is, because I've calculated it like for the rest of the year. Although we're going to enter 2026 or something of that nature, probably. But yeah, I think I'm still going to be going, with the whole bi-weekly thing. But for this month of June, I'm going to have episodes drop every Friday. So this is 14th. This is Saturday. I'm sorry. The time still remains every Friday at 5 p.m. But this is dropping now because it's a life update episode and it's a story time. So I'm going to be dropping on the 20th and on the 27th. I'm going to be dropping episodes for those 2 days, and then we're back to bi-weekly episodes with just me going audio, and then a video episode with our guests, you know, everyone, how we do. And stuff. So yeah, thank you so much for listening. For everyone who checked up, a lot of people that actually checked up, I felt loved. I know I didn't call everyone's name, but I really thank you for checking up on me. Um, yeah, thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for everything. So we're back. Most importantly, we're back, yes, and God is going to keep doing great things through me and through the podcast in Jesus' name. Thank you. Bye. See you guys next week. But like once after, yeah, bye. Mwah.